Hi, welcome to Silkly TV channel. I'm Balzhan Samigulina, and today I'm joined by tech pioneer and CEO of Innovation Ventures, Mr. Kai Fu. Thank you very much for joining us. You once said that we can build something more powerful than humans, and we have to get out of this narcissist view that we don't have to necessarily follow the brain. So what do we have to follow then, if not this?
AI is a tool that will solve problems for us. It's getting smarter and smarter in the way it solves problems, but it still operates as a tool with no self-consciousness, no self-awareness. So I think that's the context in which I talked about, let's not narcissistically use ourselves as a benchmark for AI. It thinks differently, as it should. It's better than us in many things and getting better faster, which is scary to some people, but you don't have to worry yet about the dystopian science fiction outcome where AI gets smarter and then takes over the world.
So yeah, it will not be smarter than a human being anyway, right?
Well, depends on what you mean by smart. If you mean by answering questions more intelligently, it's already smarter than us. If you mean able to have emotional intelligence and get trust from other people, then not yet. If you mean coming up with a brilliant idea like Picasso or Mozart, it's not anywhere close to that. If you mean winning the Nobel Prize, not yet, but it's getting there. So it really depends on what you mean. And I think people don't need to fear AI excessively. I think we should worry about AI getting smart, able to do things, therefore threaten some jobs. That's all real. But you shouldn't yet have to worry about AI becoming super intelligent and wants to take over the world and wants to kill people. It certainly has no intention, nor the faculty of having such an intention. So that's too much to worry about.
Yeah, so it will not fully replace us anyway.
Right.
So as you said, we need to actually coexist, and I hope that we are already coexisting in a successful way. So now we're living in the implementation of AI. And what do you think the states and governments should focus on what trends, on what fields?
Well, I think the biggest opportunity is the value creation, right? AI can do things so much more effectively than people for some domains. So we should take advantage of that so our companies can be more profitable. Therefore, our countries can be more profitable. I think that's first and foremost something we need to do. Secondly, is that we also need to see 1 or 2 years down the road, when AI becomes so smart, they will take over functions necessarily. And CEOs of companies and leaders of countries have to plan ahead so that, because this is about a workforce getting a boost, companies getting a boost, which creates value economically. Stock goes up, value goes up, cost goes down. But this also means you need to rethink your organization. So parts of your organization will be replaced by AI. And then CEO will be managing an organization that's hybrid humans and AI.
But how to exactly protect people from that? Because we can delegate some tasks to robots and to AI tools.
Yeah.
But how to not replace our citizens from losing their jobs?
So first of all, I think any CEO is going to be thinking about how to do things with lower costs and higher profit. So where something AI is clearly better than people, better and cheaper, it's going to be gone. So there is no benefit to the delusion that the CEO or the government will protect us even though we're no good at the job. The Darwinian nature of people's evolution means if we're no longer good at something, we need to learn something else. We can't just fool ourselves that we'll keep getting protected by a government or by a company. So I think what needs to be done is, first, people need to be aware that AI is getting smart in these areas, and people in these areas need to rethink about their careers. Many of those jobs are going to be replaced by AI. I think having the knowledge that they need to plan ahead is important, even though it may be painful. Secondly, they need to proactively figure out what jobs are going to be safe longer and plan a career change. companies who plan to reduce workforce because of AI have an obligation to retrain their employees to move on.
But how to exactly plan it? Do you have any hints on that?
Well, AI is creating many new opportunities. There is really a double-edged sword that for every type of opportunity that's gone, a new type of better value creation emerges. That's one type of job. Another type is jobs that didn't exist before. So before, if you ask 5 years ago, no one knows what prompt engineering means. Now it's quite important. Yeah, because it's no longer the case. You want to be someone who has all the answers. You as a human, want to be someone who asks the right question so AI can produce the best answer because you're so good at asking the question. So that art of question asking has a lot of economic value, and people may want to do that if they're good at it. And finally, there are many jobs that are not AI related, right? Because if you think as AI improves to do all kinds of problem solving, what remains for sure to be 100% requiring human capability? It is really humans' ability to connect with each other, to build trust, to send message of trustworthiness, to communicate, to have good teamwork, to persuade. These are the soft skills that
and these are the outcomes that actually even the AI pioneers couldn't predict perhaps 20 or 10 years ago that AI will go so much.
Some of it I'm just telling you what I can predict now. If you go fast forward 10 years, I'm sure there will be many other things.
So what can be these things that we cannot foresee right now?
So the types of things I saw was, cross job group, value creation, doing something that you're really good at, but miss some skill set, or learning how to use AI tools early and use it well, ask questions, find human-to-human connection opportunities that AI cannot create. AI cannot create a connection. These are things we can see today, but there will be many others that will emerge.
Yes.
So just have to watch for them.
And also confrontation of China and the US. There is always this topic in your writings and speeches. But now for us, for the general audience, for the general people, AI opens with the ChatGPT 3.0. Can you give an example of apps or of any AI tools that can be advanced in a more powerful level than, for example, these American tools? Are there any examples right now?
Sure.
As for example, TikTok, we have seen that it's overcome its number as Instagram or any other.
So the DeepSeek is a good example of a tool that is very good and also free, right? You can, it's probably better than the free ChatGPT. You can pay for a better ChatGPT, which might be slightly better than DeepSeek, but DeepSeek is free to everyone. A Qwen from Alibaba is another very good tool. That's very competitive with the top American tools. That's for consumer use. But I think what's important is for business use. So if you're a Kazakh business that wants to use a particular model, by going with the top American models, you're agreeing to send your company secrets and your personal privacy information over the wire to an American server running an American model by an American company. If you're comfortable with that, that's fine. But many people are not. So with the Chinese model, if you're using Qwen or DeepSeek, same problem. But there are many models, mostly Chinese, that are open source. What that means is you can take that model, host it in Kazakhstan. So all the data going to it is held locally, even held at your company. This is called on-premise deployment. So if people are concerned that they don't have full access and the ability to take a model and to deploy it locally, and they're afraid of sending their data over to a foreign country, then the open source model is a much better way to go, which is what my company 01.ai advocates. We can host both Chinese and American open source models, but it happens today the best open source models are Chinese.
Not American.
Because the American companies like OpenAI and Anthropic, they're worth $200 billion to $500 billion. They want to justify we have by far the best model in the world, so we can't let anybody see it. So that's how they raise money. That's how they convince their users, their partners, their customers, and their government that they're the best and they can't give it away to anybody. Otherwise, it will enable someone to copy them. The fact is, they're not that much better, but they have to keep.
And they are not widely used as American ones.
No.
Yeah.
No, the fact is, the American models are not that much better. The closed models are not that much better. But yet they have to keep telling the story that use our closed model. We can't give it away. We can't make it open source. But these don't hold up. The American models, closed models, are slightly better than the open models, but they're not worth the price of sending your data to their servers. So I'm not trying to go Chinese versus American. I'm really talking closed versus open. So for many consumers, closed versus open don't make a lot of difference because you're just asking about tourism questions or
boxing again.
Boxing and tennis. It's okay. Yeah. Send it to China, send it to US, it's all okay. But for businesses, this is confidential information. This is your customer information. This is maybe your privacy information. And in many cases, it may be illegal to send the data to a foreign server. So you really should consider, is there a possibility to deploy the model locally using an open source model, but having full control within your company? And that's something where my company is talking to Kazakh Telecom, as well as other companies in Kazakhstan to enable them to do if they feel that was important to them.
Are there any startups in Kazakhstan in AI that you could highlight right now? Some projects here that could get broad attention, global attention?
Well, Higgs Field's got a lot of attention lately because they become the first AI unicorn from Kazakhstan. I think that's something to be proud of. But I'm sure that's the first of several in these 2 or 3 years, and then maybe first of dozens over the next decade.
So also in your TED Talk speech, you mentioned that as well as my job will be replaced by robots and by AI tools. So what do you think if there will be AI tool or robot sitting here instead of me? What questions would it ask you? Because perhaps it will have, a prompt of asking professional, technical AI questions, which general journalists perhaps will not have this knowledge. So what would you ask, do you think?
Yeah, so a AI journalist, I think, would be better at asking technical questions that a journalist may not possess, or something very challenging and controversial. Because if you use large language models, you'll know the best kind of question you can ask are devil's advocate questions. Like you propose something and say, attack my argument, find the things. So I don't think I would enjoy being interviewed by such an AI journalist. Where I think the human journalist is much better is the ability to create a connection. And when you can create a human-to-human connection, you can potentially solicit a very emotional answer, a very heartfelt answer, or a very touching answer. So my suggestion to you as a journalist is to go in the human direction, which AI cannot do. But don't try to outsmart the AI because it knows more than you or I do.
Yes, but still, if you compare, for example, Sam Altman said a year ago that the people who ask the right questions to send this prompt to the robot will be today a key person.
Yeah, that's right.
As well as this replacement of workers and how to solve this issue for the governments. I think it's been talking for some time. And we as journalists, as general users and general people, we are behind these trends. I think that there is an AI community which knows what's actually the next step after this. So there is already a solution, or there is another trend coming up, and we're far behind of knowing this. we as people and we as journalists as well?
Well, you and I both have access to all the AI. You can ask ChatGPT any questions you want. So,
Might not have this info.
well, if it doesn't, then you're not behind it, right? So if you're afraid AI knows more than you, then use AI a lot. Like for this interview, I hope you use a large language model to help you prepare some questions.
Of course.
Yeah. And maybe you helped, and then you will have the best of both worlds. You will have what it thinks, assuming you ask the right questions, to have it tell you what questions to ask. And then you'll be able to add that human touch that they don't have. So you should have confidence. If you do a lot of homework and know how to ask the right questions, you'll have the best of both worlds.
But it seems that you're very optimistic. You're considering optimistic scenario of developing AI. But what about the threats as using it within political elections or as a weapon during the conflicts? What do you review in that?
Oh, those things are all very real. I think being misused by people is the largest danger of generative AI, that people can use it to spread false information, to target individuals, to have someone call your phone, sounds like someone you know, but it's not, and this kind of fraud, and all the way to related to autonomous weapons and many, many other issues. And terrorists could use AI to build a new weapon or know how to sneak
So what's
through.
the safety tool against it?
Right, and build biological weapons, sneak through something into an airplane that shouldn't be allowed. So the list goes on. And I'm very concerned about these things. And I think those are the areas where regulations need to come in and play a very tough role. But the commercial efforts to provide value and convenience at the expense of privacy should be tolerated as long as that privacy issue is covered under user consent and not spreading the content to more people.
Yes, and to use it for people's goods. So to sum up, you mentioned in your TED Talk speech that we can actually coexist as human beings, as humankind with AI tools. How do you think we are doing this right now, and how do you foresee our life with AI in the next 10 years?
I think we are currently, as a human race, way underestimating the power of AI. It will be much larger than we think. And that power, I mean, both in the good and bad way. So in the good way, we'll be surprised how much wealth is being created, and that we as human race may be able to look forward towards the day of plenitude, when all of us don't have to worry about money and resources. And on the other hand, on the bad side, especially on bad people using AI to do harm, we've not even come close to understanding the danger of that. I'm afraid the upside will come when more people see the news of Meta paying so much money for AI. Oh, AI must be worth a lot. People sort of start to get that. But the downside of the bad people doing terrible things, well, many of them are getting away with it. That's why we don't see it that much on the news. And the other thing is, they haven't done anything exceptionally egregious to cause a societal fear, right? So I'm afraid I have to make the prediction that there's likely in the next year to be an AI 9/11.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't mean, blow up a building, killing thousands of people, but it means something so bad that the world wakes up and says, we need to think about AI safety.
Yes, about the protection.
Yeah, right now the giants are running so fast because they don't want to be outrun. So they're not paying enough attention to AI safety. And the regulators and the people either don't know or don't care. And when that AI 9/11 happens, the pendulum will swing the other way, and everyone will be overly cautious. But perhaps that is the price we need to pay for something this important and for a technology that is this much of a breakthrough.
And maybe this is the thing that we have to also deliver to the outer world, that we need to, alongside with developing it, we also have to see how to protect the human beings from that.
Right.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.